Live from Williamsburg, this is Sirius Black coming at you from the Bureau of Poetic Justice. We're having a birthday party today. It's July 4th, and we're going to look into, for fireworks, the F-bomb as opposed to the Hail Mary bomb in terms of, well, the birthday we're celebrating besides the U.S. or the us, to some of us, is my grandmother, my mother figure, Nana. It was her birthday. She used to brag that she was a firecracker, and she was. She was hot off, her family was hot off the boat from Ireland, and she was a leprechaun, I'll tell you. She was amazing. And I get my poetic nature from her, and also other stuff from other people. But anyway, I wanted to address a couple of things. Our country dropping bombs on people like crazy is still happening, and anyway, like entertainment now, everybody's tossing around the what I refer to as the F-bomb. I think it should be banned from people's vocabulary. They should be digging into their vocabulary deeper than that and finding an adjective or verb. Usually it's used as an adjective for emphasis. And it's used for emphasis, and I understand that, but you need to be digging into your vocabulary further. I mean, as an English teacher, I know you can do it and basically read some stuff and get some words in your head. And so anyway, if you do you know where the F-bomb came from? Actually, it was here. Like in Williamsburg, particularly Salem, the witch trials, they would, that was Massachusetts. This is Virginia, this is the Commonwealth of Virginia. And in Williamsburg, they have the stocks where they used to put people out in the town square in stocks, and you'd have your hands held and your head held, and you were locked in there, and people would, because you had committed a crime against the community. And one of the community crimes was, now listen to this, for unlawful carnal knowledge. Okay? If you had carnal knowledge with anybody but your wife, it was against the law. And remember, for unlawful carnal knowledge. That's where the F-bomb word came from. Okay? And this is true. And so anyway, wouldn't that be cool? I was actually joking around with some people and saying, you know, you get a driver's license to drive a car. You should have to have a license to have sex. I mean, wouldn't that be interesting? But anyway, the F-bomb, if you leave it out entirely, then you get really expressive, you know, and you get to use your brain, and your brain starts to fly around, and you know, all the electrical activity happens, and you have a whole new map in there happening on a daily basis as you're reading and talking and interacting and all the good stuff. What I don't understand, though, here's the thing. I learned yesterday that Ernest Hemingway, you know Hemingway, have you ever heard of Ernest Hemingway? Well, anyway, Ernest, the word Ernest with an A instead of E-R, it's E-A-R, means honest. And Oscar Wilde, the Victorian poet and novelist and playwright, who was brilliant, Oscar Wilde wrote The Importance of Being Earnest. And what it meant was you need to be honest. Number one, in your whole life, you got to tell the truth. Always tell the truth. If you do that, according to Don Miguel Ruiz, who I will talk about a little bit more in another show, it's magical. It causes white magic to happen in your life if you always tell the truth. And the thing is that he distinguishes white magic from black magic. Black magic is, well, you figure it out. But he says people that are trying to practice black magic on you have no power over you because you're telling the truth all the time, and basically you have the power. So, and he's way cool, and I'll talk to him about him on another show because we're doing the F-bomb today because of fireworks. But anyway, when I was a kid, Notre Dame was all about football. It was the famous for football. Newt Rockne was known as the greatest coach of all time before Vince Lombardi took that over. And he was a college coach, and he had great football teams. And when I was a kid, and some of you remember this too, Ara Parseghian, A-R-A, Parseghian was the Notre Dame coach, and he was wonderful too, and they were number one in the country and everything. They're not as, I get the sense that I haven't heard much about them lately, so I don't think they're as good as they used to be, but it used to be they were number one a lot. And thing was, in high school, well, let me say grade school, I was Sisters of Notre Dame. So I was like, dang, you know, that's pretty cool, you know, football, excellent. But what they were we had a super baseball team. And of course, that was my favorite sport. And when I was well, I played outfield, and while we had this really good catcher, Gary Breedice, but then Breedice graduated, and I became the catcher, and I was a good catcher too, and I've talked about that before. But anyway, you know, all-star and everything. But and that leads me into lots of interesting areas with Catcher in the Rye. But I'm not going to talk about JD right now. He's the whole thing. But the F-bomb, try to take it out of your vocabulary entirely. I dare you. Double dog dare you. And don't listen to people that are using it, you know. Why? Oh, okay. I forgot about George. George Carlin taught me some things, okay, because remember back in the day, back in the hippie days, he was cussing a blue streak and getting away with it, but he was like on the fringes doing it. See, now everybody does it, and it's like normal to do it, and it's like, wait a minute, no, that's not normal. Normal people don't talk like that. And don't let it happen. If you know what I do in the hospital when people are cussing a blue streak, I go, bing, bing, and tell them that people get verbally abused by people screaming those words at them. It's like taking a baseball bat and smacking them over the head. And yeah. So anyway, it's violent language. It's very violent. They call it the F-bomb for a reason, and also what it means is a bomb is a bomb too, you know. So anyway, that's my thing about Nana, celebrating her birthday and taking her firecracker and bing, you know, paying back her for everything she's done for me, and I feel like she's in heaven watching over me now. And you know, my Irish gets up sometimes, and I'm up about this F-bomb thing. I think people should stop using it. The MF cluster bomb, forget it. That should never be used. Think about what that means. Literally, okay? And lastly, the N word. People have been lynched over the N word. Nobody should be using it. I don't care what you look like. So, that's my story for the day. That's my fireworks for the day. Happy birthday, Nana. I don't know how old you would be if you were still here, but maybe you are. You know, that's pretty cool because you know, you made me beautiful, and thank you. So that's my thank you to Nana, and I'll be checking back in with you later. Hang in there, folks. Do your best, and always tell the truth. That's the thing. Those are the two main things. Shoot, I'm trying to say goodbye.